Hi, and thank you for joining me. This is DJ Chris at TargetedWest.com. This is our conference call and work group every Sunday at freeconferencecall.com/wall/TargetedWest, or you can go to TargetedWest.com and check our website for the call-in number. Anyway, thank you for watching us in your preferred platform, whether it be YouTube, BitChute, which is still in trouble with HSBC, so if you can help them a bit financially, that would be great. And then you've got archive.org for posterity. Again, this is the Sunday call. I'm the man in the middle. I'm not a violent person. I'm not political left or right. I'm just an old man in the middle trying to figure out why I have telepathy in my head, and we've got a lot of people here who have the same problem, and we're all trying to solve it, and this is how we do it. I'm here in beautiful Lodi, California, where, as you know in the news, it's flooding everywhere, and a big storm's coming tonight. So we'll be talking about that during the open mic, of course. This is show number 41, and it is the 8th of January, 2023. And today's main topic is about a company called Synchron. You've heard about Neuralink in the news. That's Elon Musk's technology where they string you up with some nodes into a chip that's implanted in your skull, and then it transmits via technology to some type of base station, and this is a BCI. And of course, there have been competitors with him, and one of them is Synchron. Synchron does it a little different. They have a technology where it's like a, what's the word for it? A stent rod, a road, and it sticks in your carotid artery, and it picks up the neurons from your brain, and you can do basic movements of your mouse or play a simple video game so far. And then there's a third company that's out now called Blackrocks BCI, which is not to be confused with BlackRock, the investment firm. And they've been around for 15 years doing this. I guess Elon Musk decided to come in recently, and of course Synchron did too. Synchron, by the way, is funded by Bill Gates and others. So it's definitely, and the guy that runs Amazon is also involved in it. So they're probably wanting this, of course, so they can use it to control you, obviously. And that's, of course, what it's going to be used for. And, of course, you know, obviously, that it can be done remotely without any technology. But they've decided to get into the invasive brain wiring business and put these competitive systems together. And like Frank Allen, who's here with us tonight, mentioned in the chat room, that indeed, within 6 months, Neuralink is going to have a real human test subject. Of course, if they get it approved by the FDA, which I think they will, and they did. So we'll see how that works. But of course, I don't understand why you need any of this, because all you need is a simple cap on your head that picks up all your brain waves, and you don't need to drill or put carotid arteries in danger. The other danger is there's a 6% chance of stroke. And the people at BlackRock BCI were the ones that wrote most of the human experiences with these implants. And Synchron and Neuralink are copying that information, using that as their guidestone, their guideline. So it's a big competition, and you know damn well there's going to be people out there that are going to want to be wired up to be the first in their neighborhood. Then you're going to find that there's going to be jobs that are going to want to have you enhanced so that you qualify. I mean, people will do it. I guarantee you there'll be a line of people going down the street so they don't need a cell phone anymore, and they can just talk on through their head using eye or brain expressions. So that's our main topic. And of course, I put a link at TI Club 3 on Twitter for you to review that. I put 2 different examples of the BCI technology. So check that out, and that's for that subject. Second subject on the list of topics we can talk about tonight is the SWOT satellite. That's SWOT. That's a new satellite that's out that's supposed to measure all the water on the Earth. I'll bet you it'll measure the water that's in our bodies too, and probably all the water everywhere, including in places they shouldn't be looking, including other things other than water. So that's something I'm researching. I'll get back with you on. That's SWOT. If you want to check that out and get back with me, I would appreciate it. I hope you're doing well. Let's see what time it is now. It's 5 after. I'm running a little quick, so I'll slow down. Let's see what's going on in the chat room. Hey, Sela. We got Sela, Huggy. Is that Michael, Nancy, Glamour Girl, Chapoey, Tranquility, Restricted, Caller 00, Frank, Gertrude, Laura, Johnny Colorado, Name, and Laura, and me. So it's a good crowd. We usually get about 30 or so. And we're mostly a study group, but same, all familiar people. We have all known each other for quite a long time, so we all trust each other. And it's a smooth operation. This guy, next topic is, this is really hot. This guy's name is Ed. His last name is Rugebregt, and he is pumping out all these historic TI videos and collages of various videos over the years, all on one YouTube channel. So check that out. His name is Ed, Rugebregt. I mean, he's just pumping them out every day. I can't even keep up. And a lot of it I've seen, but a lot of it I haven't. And you know, they do erase our memory, apparently, or can or will, and plus we're getting older and we do forget things. So sometimes you have to reread or rewatch things, so it's food for thought, something for you to check out. And he has videos of different brain technologies. He's got Dr. John Hall on there. He's got Dr. Giordano. He's got Brian too. And he has uploads often. And it says that they're great videos, so check that out. Let me take a little break. Let's go look into the chat room. Oh, cool. Everybody's talking to each other in the chat room. It's all good. My name is DJ Chris. If you're now tuning in, you're at TargetedWest.com conference call and work group. Next is very controversial, and everyone's coming out with videos and articles about this, and it's ChatGPT. ChatGPT, ZDNet article is the first one I posted, and then I did a Joe Rogan video that just came out about ChatGPT, and the fact is that you can type in a few words, and it asks a few questions, and it'll write you the lyrics to a song. Someone wrote a rap song. You can use it to fix code if you're an engineer working in Silicon Valley and you can't figure out how to get a code to work. It'll fix it. You could write books. You could cheat on college. It's literally smarter than a human. And it's from OpenAI, and it's ChatGPT. You could literally type stuff in it, and when you have a chance, after you watch this video or if you're on right now, go to ChatGPT, do a Google or whatever you use for searching, and check it out and type in some queries and see what happens. And I haven't done it yet, but you'll get some answers that are quite provocative and intelligent. This thing is very smart. So you know damn well this is what they're using in a form in the targeting with our V2K with the AI telepathy I get with the skits and the same theme going on over and over and over and over. So they're using a form of that, probably more advanced in our case, but that one's just open to the public for us to hammer on. And like I said, you can come up with books, you can come up with lyrics, it'll solve questions, and it's extremely intelligent. So check it out, ChatGPT, and I think that's General Programming Technologies, GPT, and that is on the internet for you to check out. And my question is, can it be weaponized? And the answer is absolutely, and it has been for a long time, and it will continue to be till we stop it. Whoa, airplane going over. That's really low. Hey, Setsa. Setsa's in the house. Next, here on Mr. Chris's call here, TargetedWest.com. With me, DJ Chris. We've got facial recognition, snafu leads to false arrests. Now, as a retired tech engineer from Silicon Valley, I have watched a lot of this AI facial recognition crap and how ineffective it is for a long time. And the fact that they use it to arrest people and put them in jail is beyond ridiculous. Do you know that it can't even recognize most black people's faces? And it cannot tell people with a dark complexion the difference in their facial complexion and anything like that. There's so many variations that it's not even funny, and they don't even get close, but they're actually going ahead and using this technology at police, DAs, in different departments of law enforcement at different levels up to the federal level to arrest people. And I put an article on TI Club 3 for that very topic. Can you imagine that? They can't even solve the crimes they have now, but they're going after people using AI. Facial recognition. That's just lazy policing. That should be a tool that is used along with proper investigation, not this go jumping to, like I told you, those instant warrants, 3-click warrants. A judge doesn't even have to be in the court. He doesn't have to put his coat, his thing on, his black thing. He's got the robe. He can do it from the country club. 3-click. It's called cloud gavel. So they make these instant warrants with no real probable cause. And that's what the article's about. Okay, it's 13 after. See what's going on in the chat room. Oh, it's popping. So we'll take a moment here. I'm running early on the TI book club, so we could probably go ahead. I don't see anybody. Well, I got the regulars sign in, so we'll start now with the book club. And this is the one I'm reading now, so I'll try to put it up on the camera. It's Solaris Blue Raven, and it's Eye of the Remote, Black Operations in Areas Beyond 52. And this is the book I'm reading now. I usually don't read hard copies, but this one I have, and this is our current read right now. And I'm on page 20. I just started it, and I earmarked it because Chapter 3 talks about machine-based telepathy, voice-to-skull communications, and multi-dimensional channels and mediums and frequency conscious remotes. She feels that she's a starseed and that they can type into our aura, not just our brain and our body resonance, but more than that, in our chakras. And that's what this book is about. So I'm to that part of the book right now, and I will report more on it because we're in flood mode right now, and I'm not really feeling reading the book at the moment. We're going to go to some notes from we didn't finish from our last session, and that's the Robert Gates book, A Passion for Leadership. Now, we got that book so that we could see if he would tell any secrets about the CIA. And that man is so tight-lipped, I got nothing. But I did find out that he's good buddies with the big Brzezinski. And that, of course, is the guy who's father of the lady that's married to Morning Joe on MSNBC, Mika. And Brzezinski's son is the ambassador for Poland, and he's involved with the shenanigans with that pipe explosion, we think. We did an episode about that. So their tentacles of the kids of that man have completely expanded, and people like Morning Joe have the CFR on, and the guy Robert Haas, who's one that runs it, is on there often and speaks on the board when they have roundtable discussions. So Robert Gates is friends with him and worked him, the big Brzezinski rag, and he talks about OSINT on with CIA Gates and the Boy Scouts of America. He thinks that the Boy Scouts of America that he ran, Texas A&M that he ran, the CIA, and the DC, the Central Intelligence Director, he thinks he can just completely whitewash a book and come out with nothing. But just the fact that he's worked for the big, it's enough. And then it gets worse. And then he mentions he's friends with James Clapper, another red flag. So the hits keep going on that book. He says all three of those organizations have the same structure. That's ridiculous. Well, this is a good bit of advice, though. If you're going to run an organization, though, this is a good book to read. And he says in Chapter 6, it's always good to listen for facts and do not shut down someone if most of their info is nuts. I don't know if that was paraphrased or not. Chapter 7, the best leaders have their egos under control. And he talks about the fact that he brought geospatial and recon into everyone's brain at the Pentagon and the CIA when no one was interested in any of that newfangled technology. And he was the one that brought it in, so you can thank him for that. So that's Robert Gates' book. Go back to see if any questions from the chat room on what I've discussed. Okay, we'll go to open mic. And we'll switch the paper. I keep everything on my trusty pad. Can't be erased. Now we're going to switch to open mic mode. Okay, so I'm going to change the mode right now.
I got in late.
Okay, you're good to go, and I unplugged my mic. So open mic, come on in.
Yeah, can you hear me okay? I don't want to ask.
You're a little light on the volume, but come on in, Huggy.
Okay, how about now? Any better? A little better? Can you hear me? If I go any louder, for whatever reason, maybe I can't hear any because I'm not wireless. I don't do wireless. Anyway, was that book on, is that Bill Gates? I came in late.
Robert Gates' book.
Okay.
That's the director of the CIA.
That bastard. He's worse than you can ever imagine. If the public knew what he has been doing to everybody with Microsoft, nobody would have taken his word and taken a vaccine? Nobody. That rat bastard billionaire, and he made it on every American's back, taxpayer-wise. Everything about Microsoft operating system.
I was talking about Robert Gates, the director of the CIA, not Bill Gates.
Oh, that other bastard. Okay. Well, that Gates, okay. NSA.
Yeah, I'm talking about Robert Gates.
Oh yeah.
Book he wrote about leadership.
He has no. He was on stage down in Florida, and it was 3 or 4 female targets. Went up. They were waiting in line. They were allowed to go up to the mic and ask questions to the crowd, and so they waited their turn, and the 4 of them went up to the mic and asked Gates. He was in uniform, but they told him about. They asked him why they were targeting Americans and about the directed energy weapons. He did not deny it, but he was very arrogant, and when I understood that 2 of the 4 walked away in tears, and he just showed no, he didn't care. And I understand that he's one of the ones with Brennan that led the charge on this.
I'm sure he was. So yeah. that's part of the TI Book Club. So if you want to join the TI Book Club, you can go to tibookclubs.com/ or bookclubs.com/TI Book Clubs /join/. So yeah, Huggy, anybody on the call that want to speak up or come on in and talk about any of the topics?
I just want to make one last comment, and I'm going to
go ahead.
The other Bill Gates I ran into for months now, and it's I just can't dig any further. It's unreal. He works with the NSA, the Gates together, and they have been, when Edward Snowden said at first they were spying on Americans, a particular couple thousand or so, and then they opened it up and it was massive on everybody. Everyone's being spied on 24/7, everybody. And through Bill Gates' operating system, Microsoft, you might want to get in on a search engine and look into harden your drive. Up to 5,000 plus times per hour that people are logging in and proving. They are key logging us. They know the second we turn our computer on. They know everything. They're also using a hidden router, which I found inside the software.
Yes, you talked about hardening your cell phone too, which I posted.
Yeah, I thought the cell phones were bad enough. The computers, even I'm wired, okay? Nobody realizes, and this includes Macintosh as well, but these Windows, we are contributing to the Internet of all things. They are spying on us every second. They're uploading constantly. They are even, I have no wireless, no Bluetooth, nothing. They are overriding me 24/7. I'm not the only one monitoring them. A lot of these IT guys, thank God, have come forward. And MIT, I might add. It seems like the MIT guys have really stepped up to help the public in a certain way. Some of them are really trying to protect our privacy, and it's a thankless job, let me tell you. But they're even getting the Bluetooth, the infrared off of my mouse, and not only every second that I touch it, this is how they can target you with your computer, with cloud computing. They know every movement that we make. They can, and with the smart meter combined and cell towers, blah, blah, blah. But this is the central part of it. They couldn't have done it all without, they couldn't have targeted anybody without the Microsoft Gates put out here. And he didn't even write it. He's a negative eugenicist from way back. But I'm just saying that, also Amazon's Bezos made billions on American taxpayers spying on us with cloud computing. So just saying.
Yes, he did. I think somebody chimed in. Hello, who's out there?
Hi, it's Laura. I just wanted
Laura,
to
come on in. It's Huggy Bear and I speaking. Come on in.
Hi, Huggy. I could verify things that she's saying just from experience alone. But I wanted to quick ask that Ed what was it, Ed, Rugg? Doby, the guy that was putting out videos about TIs, you said?
He's posting a lot of classic videos from the past. Yeah, his name on YouTube is Ed, and on Twitter, Ed, Ruggebregt. Rugbrecht. There, I wrote the word hot next to it, so yeah, he's pumping them out.
Cool. Then this ChatGPT thing, thank you for that help. That's a neat little...
It could help you. You think I'm joking? It could help you write a poem.
I don't do that. That's fancy. Yeah, I should have put my book out last year because, yeah, it's pretty obsolete now. Anyway, this fake face recognition. I'm just, what? They're arresting people on that alone? Is that...
Yes, they are.
Oh, gross. Yeah, that's not very scientific. So
no,
I appreciate
investigation. That should only be part of the exhibit.
Yeah. But I appreciate you doing the call under duress and under extreme circumstances and extreme weather. Actually weathering...
Did you say I'm under a dress? No, I'm not under any dresses. No, under duress. Yes, I'm stressing. I'm faking it right now, but after I go to bed, it's going to be crazy bones tonight. It's going to be the biggest storm. The biggest part of the storms will be tonight.
Oh, shoot. So bunker down, and I appreciate you doing the call, tonight in that kind of situation. And we'll be sending you love from Colorado and thinking about you. And
yes, please.
Yes, and I'll meet.
We're not prepared for any of this, so that's what the bad part is. We're all lazy around here with the temperatures normal all the time, and now we're getting hit with all this extreme stuff. So.
Oh.
Well, next topic, Laura, you would be happy to hear about. This is for me mostly. Low-income solutions video, healthy, wealthy, and skinny, which I posted. That's from Anne from St. Louis, which we haven't heard on the calls lately. Neither have we heard from Marcus, so we're looking for Anne in St. Louis and Marcus. I think I saw Anne on Derek's Christmas call. But just about budgeting and stuff, which I do a lot of. I budget a lot of the food and what we spend on for different things, and it helps when you don't make a lot of money because you've been targeted by these people who asset strip you and make you not have any money.
I'm familiar. I like any of those tips.
That's on my TI Club Twitter page, so it'll be on there for you guys. Next topic is on the TI Club 3 Twitter page is avoiding isolation. And I thought this TEDx lady in the Wigan studio, it was in Ireland, I think, or Scotland, and I thought she had such a cool attitude about not isolating yourself, which is part of the program that you have to work on not doing to yourself, including myself. And I posted that. I thought it was a really informative and a very loving, carefully put together explanation on why it's important, because we're all social creatures by nature. Hey, Johnny, did you want to talk?
Hey, what's up, man? Yeah, I had my mute button on. I was kind of
no worries. Yeah, how are you doing? You don't have to tell me all the details, but you're going through some stress recently. How are you hanging out now? You better?
Oh man, basically, I don't know. I know we've all seen Anger Management with Adam Sandler, and I'm kind of going through some similar stuff, and I was actually in anger management and in this other therapy class because I literally freaked out and went out. I didn't know what to do last year. I freaked out and went and got arrested on purpose, going, "What the hell's going on?" I've tried to get help and this and that, and so now I've got put in these classes and I'm on probation for this, and I basically turned into Adam Sandler in the class and got kicked out, and they banned me from the building even, and they said, "You're not even allowed to come in on this property." And I got to go to court in the morning, and so I got a mess going on because I bucked the class and got banned.
Well, more power to you. I guess they just can't handle your personality. It's not anger you have, it's called passion.
Oh, well, I'll put it like this. I mean, I'll admit I got stupid in the class. I really wish I wouldn't have done that, but I went in there with intention.
Did you have enough? Did you have enough to eat? Was your sleep affected in your eat? Did you eat well? Because that all messes you up.
What was it now?
Were you sleep deprived when you acted up and didn't eat well? Because we get all of that going on here too. No,
I was just I got pushed, I was getting hit from different directions, with attacks, and I just got tired of them, and so I went in the class. I was like, I'm going to get kicked out, and I went in there and I got kicked out on purpose. I basically escalated it until they finally kicked me out, and I was like, all right, cool, thank you, and yeah.
I wish you luck in court tomorrow.
Had too much. I mean, I'm not going to jail tomorrow. I got to go in there and, I just go in there and get a public pretender, and, I guess I'll have to go find another class that'll take me. I'd go do the class somewhere else.
My P's and Q's, I suggested just mind your P's and Q's, get through it, get out of it, get over it, rise above it, anything that works.
Like I said, I wish I wouldn't have done that, but, it was one of them days.
I've been through that. Sometimes it's forced behavior. We have no control. Sometimes I have Tourette's I can't control at the most inappropriate times.
Yeah.
Chris, I deal with that too. Wow, interesting. I also deal with that. Not often, but that is something I have to watch.
It is, because that's how you get yourself in trouble. Yeah, I know. That's how they get me in trouble. That's how they got me in trouble one time.
Yeah, I've always had a problem with authority, and I've always fought for what I thought was right. And, I always tell the truth. Like, I'm that guy that you don't want in the meeting a lot of times. So, yeah, I've been telling my probation officer and everyone, like, and they don't even deny it. They all know. Like, I'm at a point with it all now, like I was in it. I've been a TI for at least 25 years. I suspect my entire life. But there was a long time when it was like I couldn't find anybody who would admit that this stuff existed. And now there's not one person that I see or come in contact with it. It's not common knowledge. I mean, it's common knowledge now. Nobody's in denial of it anymore, And even the lady who kicked me out of her class, she told me in the interview, she said, yeah, gang stalking is real. It's not, a phenomenon, and it's real. And, yeah, there's a lot of crazy stuff happening behind it, like mass shootings and stuff. And I told her, I said, oh, yeah, and you support that? You think that's okay? And you're working for a system that's doing that stuff? And you got somebody sitting here right now that's, sitting here because of this, And, all she wanted to do was just try to recommend me for this and recommend me for that so they can scam up a bunch of money, for a bunch of bull crap treatment. So you sit in there in a freaking room and, not accomplish anything. So, yeah, I called all that out, and I called it out in the meeting, too, when they were kicking me out. I was like, yeah, this whole thing's just a scam, this and this. And
But I had the same experience when we did we handed out flyers, fans one year with all the websites and information on it, and people knew in the downtown Denver, people that we gave fans to, people that we gave flyers to, they knew about this. They knew about this technology already. Half of them would hand us back the flyer. Yes, we're aware. Yeah. So, like you said,
I don't think they want to admit that it could happen to them, though. That's when it gets scary. Yeah. No, I know everybody's got a family member that has a situation.
Everybody in this area where I live is military, vets, intelligence, some kind of DOD, something,
Oh, you're Colorado, like California has got the tech people that are militarized. You guys got the militarized stuff. Yeah, it's incredible what you have there in that country, state.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, my neighborhood sounds like a military base, and neighbors, they don't really talk to each other unless they're like trading ammo or something. And there's a big sign at the front of the neighborhood, giant sign like billboard, that basically says you were entering God's country and we're a bunch of gun-toting ex-military, you will get shot up here. Basically a big warning sign. Yeah, at the front of the neighborhood. And people know, like, you don't play around up here. You don't even walk up on someone's yard and knock on the door, nothing, Like, it's an interesting
way here, too. I'm in the country, so people do that.
Then if you go a little bit away from, like, all the military bases are down, like, in the Springs, off 24. 24 goes all the way up through, like Woodland Park, around back, Pikes Peak, where you pass, like, the area where I'm at, and you get out to where everyone's off grid, and it's worse, everyone's paranoid, and no one's got power. It's just like, flat land. You gotta fence in your own property. It's free range cattle everywhere, and people up there, there's a lot of TIs up there that literally are like off the grid hiding. I know some of them.
I've been to Colorado once and to the airport. That was a freaky airport with those signs and the paintings on the wall and the Freemasonry plaque at the door.
Yep. I was there a few months ago.
Yeah, it's wild.
Don't forget that damn horse, Lucifer, in the front, as you leave, with the red eyes.
I forgot about that. Yeah, well, they are Luciferian. Many of these people are Luciferian, so there you have it.
So there was a big vote to either take him down or keep him a couple years ago, and it was 59. It was like 49 to 51. And they won to keep it.
So there you go. He who controls the Luciferian horse controls the world, they say.
Well, I don't know that they say that, but I found it odd.
I just made it up. So I talked about isolation. Oh, important for all TIs to communicate, even moderators. We are not the enemy of each other, and I got Frank Allen here tonight on the call, and we're really glad to have him come by and visit with us, and he is more than welcome to chime in if he wants to. It's open mic, of course. Our tradition here, we turn the recording off at 7 p.m. if you want to talk after that.
No, that's quite all right. I'm very happy to be here, and you're running a real nice shop here. It really sounds good, and
it's real tight.
It's tight, and it's under control. Nobody's out of control here. It's great.
Yeah, it's our 41st show, and every show's been the same. Everybody gets along. It's 41, and I scripted all ahead of time.
Great. That's the only way to do it. Format everything.
Yep.
That's what I try to do with radio, and they still don't listen. But most of them do. Laura does, but there's a lot of people that come on there that just take the mic and run with it. They don't stop, you know. And
oh yeah,
not a good situation, but it's okay.
yeah. So everybody who's watching my video right now on BitChute, YouTube, or archive.org, check out TargetedMassachusetts.org and Frank Allen's call. His ID at freeconferencecall.com is targeted. So check him out. And of course, you got Liz on Monday, Frank's on Wednesday, and Frank's on Friday. So check him out. 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Am I right?
That's actually we're on at 7:30 now.
Okay, so 7:30. Very good.
For TM Broadcasting, and this is Eastern Time, and at 9 o'clock, then we have our conference call.
Very good. On Tuesday, we have James' call with Ella and FFTI with Dr. Matt. Dr. Matt's in the chat room sometimes, and James runs a good call. Derek's on Monday and Saturday, and you can find him at PAX Center website, and his C. Robinson, I believe, but you'll have to go look it up. But these are all good people. We all work together as a group, and we're here for you to try to solve this so we can move on with our lives. So we are all working together in unison. It is unity. So we're going to go, thank you for, now to my ordeal here at the park. Yeah, so let me wind back here a few days. So a few days ago, I'm sitting here and I see the sheriff pull up. I see a lot of sheriffs pull up. And I go, uh-oh. And I knew it was flooding because you could see the water and everybody was freaking out. So the sheriff came by and told everybody, you should evacuate, but you don't really have to. And I talked to one of the sheriffs and all that. And he said that they let a big valve open, which they already did because someone else corrected him and came through. So everybody was acting like, they were the Office of Emergency Services. The sheriff didn't know what they're talking about. I kept thinking it was a psych ops operation, but in fact, they were just trying to limit their liability and telling us because indeed it could have flooded, but it didn't. But it still can flood because tonight after this call is going to be the biggest release of water and wind, and it hasn't started yet. I have my door open right now, but it's going to hit tonight at about 9 to 10. So I really appreciate the prayers and the well wishes and the people emailing me, texting me, and calling me and making sure we're okay. I appreciate it. I have a backup at the mom's place. They have an RV storage lot. I can park the RV in temporarily, so I'm good. But I don't want to leave my cats, so I'm staying here. I don't think it's going to flood. It's going to come close, but we'll see because the water's receded. And, of course, I took a couple of pictures, and I put that on my TI Club 3 Twitter page. So anyway, open mic. Anyone want to talk? Okay, the last topic is, I hear someone. Come on in. Frank Allen says he will be speaking to Len, and IK Tor will be on towards the end of the month. So please stay tuned for Frank Allen and his shows. Again, TargetedMassachusetts.org, and you go to his call list, and he's got all his stuff there, plus he sends updates. So please check out his newsletter I signed up for his newsletter, and then you can be updated as to what's going on, plus get updates.
Chris, how would you like to be a guest on TM Broadcasting pretty soon?
That would be an honor, because my next topic, Frank, is my Targeted Trilogy book is in audio form, and it's coming out on the 15th, and I hired a guy to do it named Tom Lundy from Hollywood.
Well, that's fantastic. It really is. And you can get on and speak about it.
Yes, because I'm the first targeted individual author to put a book on Audible and Apple about targeting.
That's fantastic.
I did inquiries all over. I can't find anything about it at all. There's nothing. So I'm trying to break something in. Plus, I have a lot of people that don't like reading books and just want to listen to it. So, yeah, I will definitely book with you on that, and we'll definitely get together and do a show. And I'll come in. You can interview me for sure. Thank you. I appreciate that.
No, it's my pleasure. We'll have fun too. Okay.
As we should.
Yes, fun. Oh, bless us, everyone. I'm just tickled. I'm kind of worried for you, Chris, but I'm just tickled about all that. Very exciting.
I'm a third-generation Californian, and I know it's not going to flood, so I'm just working on my book and making sure it'll be out. It'll be out on the 15th of this month, by the way, which is just a few days. All I have to do is approve it, and then I'm done, and I'll give you guys the links as soon as I get it.
Make sure you have some plastic bags to put all your work in, just in case you have to go quickly.
Well, luckily, everything I do is on the computer, and I can just slip it away. Yeah, I'm going to tow out if I have to. I got the truck here.
Cool. Frank,
but that's not quick. Easy to do.
Yes.
I was just going to say, you said, people, when they go on the radio, and I have talked to people, they get real nervous. Do you have pointers for people that are going to be interviewed on your radio show? You only got an hour. What are your pointers?
Well, it's not just an hour. You can have an hour and a half, 2 hours if you like. The pointers are actually try and relax and have a normal conversation. And the way you start is to wait. If you are through with your statement, some people never get through with their statement, I found. But if you're through with your statement, just stop for 2 seconds or 3 seconds, and I'll pick right up. Just calm down. It's fun. And you're putting the word out. You're helping Chris. You're helping myself. You're helping everyone in the community. So it's a wonderful thing you're doing. So just have fun. That's the biggest thing.
Absolutely, Laura. And if you need advice, ask us.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, what I found over the years, and when I've done this, Chris told me you need to kind of polish your, I think they can call it verbal economics, something like that. But I noticed, sometimes I don't ask questions, or I don't answer questions, or I don't ask questions that I thought of later. So I try to write little notes or stuff, so I can remember when I'm asked. Just be sure to answer the questions, usually that people ask you. I've noticed I sometimes brush over that. Have fun.
I had a radio show on KKUP, and we would talk about what we were going to talk about before, and that way the guests would know what the subjects are, so they're not surprised, and they can do a little research and polish that up. So that'll probably be the case in your case. They probably talked with you as a producer before. So you're going on the local radio there. That's exciting. Is that what the case is?
Yes, most definitely.
Fabulous.
I hope you were talking to me.
Oh, I was was trying to lower, but she's busy contemplating her answer.
That's funny. Yeah, no, I'm contemplating my my responses and everybody should. There's something going on this year, and I hate to say this is our year. This is going to happen. I've heard people say that before, but I have never seen progress like I've seen last year in my personal own life. Things I have exposed on these calls even crumbled. The place that held me down and put drugs in me that I didn't need, they were shut down, and they had a huge suspended sign for months on their facility. I've actually seen things happening. I don't know if these are things I've documented and, the reason, things are, but I've seen actual justice happening. It's in little spurts, but it is happening. And I know people don't believe it. And they hear something like, oh, the Justice Department is doing, or the State Department is doing an investigation. Oh, they're in on it, this and that. I hear that all the time. Well, I've never had the State Department send out a questionnaire about no-touch torture, and I've never had them say they're going to do an investigation on it. And the CIA and the FBI are always told to stand down. So, maybe, it's not a coincidence that they're all of a sudden doing an investigation, and maybe they won't do an investigation, and maybe it's smoke screens, and I hear that a lot too, but maybe it's not. And it's not like it was 10 years ago when we were talking about this and people were wrote off as crazy. Like Johnny said, people know about this. They know what's happening. I've also been approached by a social service worker here who asked me to talk to somebody about electromagnetic sensitivity, a client she had. I had a DA call me, and he had found a card on somebody I gave, a TI that I gave my card to, and she said, what is the protocol for TIs, for these TIs? What do you do with them? I said, I would love there to be a protocol. What is the protocol?
That's something we could all write up.
I'm just saying,
I know you've seen things. I've seen a lot of things change. You're right. 2022 was a good starting point.
It was. And the corruption seems to be eroding right in front of my eyes sometimes, even in the cannabis industry. It's amazing. They have shut down these places that sold moldy pot for years to people and got away with it all over the city. They're shutting them down right and left, all year long. All year long, they've been shutting them down, and they're on top of it. I don't know what changed there. I don't know why all of a sudden they're concerned about the health over the money. But, they still tax the shit out of it, but still, they're worried about the health. I see some major changes happening in my community and in, frankly, my relationships, in my situation. So I hope people do too, and I hope they have hope enough to speak out and not be afraid.
I agree. The sheriff, Lori Smith, that was involved with my targeting indirectly got fired and quit finally after 20-some odd years. So I got a little justice there.
Love it. Ooh, you should have 5 minutes maybe to report little justice stories like that, little justice stories that you get throughout the week.
Oh, we could talk about that all day. I think it's a great subject. I agree.
They're happening. All right. Start making a list.
Well, there's somebody listening to this call right now that needs hope, that hasn't made it to a point where they feel comfortable getting on mics and talking on calls, but they're listening and they're learning. So this will help give them inspiration, knowing that justice can be served and will be served.
Chris?
Go ahead.
Historically, justice will be served, and we might not be here to see it. We won't be there.
True.
But there's a standard old saying that God knows how old it is, and there's a lot of old sayings that those that live by the sword are doomed to die by the sword, meaning a den of thieves. I'm not real sure where they're encamped at, which I kind of know where. I'm not real sure how they turn their backs on each other. How what a way to live. And that's putting it real mildly. That's not even touching the surface. But you can have all kind of degrees and still be a hardened psychopath. These people just come up with it. Sociopath, psychopathic. They're eugenicists. When you take billions of dollars and look around, I've traveled after my husband died throughout the country enough to see countless empty strip malls, mom and pop stores. Unless you're in a little town, they're just non-existent anymore. All the gas stations.
Dr. Catherine Horton said that the psychopathy goes up to the top in the organizations. Oh, yeah. You're right.
Yeah, exactly. It's a very small percentage, like 1% or 1% of the population. However, they knew what they were doing in choosing those that hold them up, the ones that are on the bottom. And one of the absolute worst group of them all that operates in the worst black op way is the CIA. And the NSA.
Agreed.
There's the two right there. I don't know about you. I know my Constitution. I got an AA++ on it in 2004, and I wrote about the Bill of Rights as well. And a state level detective said to me when I didn't understand what was happening around me and what was going on, and he said that a nation of traitors did this to your Constitution and Bill of Rights. I have since added, and human rights be damned, beyond belief. And when I find out how long this has actually been going on, for years before we came along, it just blows me away. And to know that there are, we think the top universities in this country, and they have scientists that are operating with the CIA, participating.
And a lot of military. That's where they get a lot of their money. Matter of fact, if you remember the hippie kids in college tried to blow up the computers that they were trying to use for war simulations and such back then, the first supercomputers. So yeah, we don't like it.
No. Eisenhower, when he said we were in dire trouble, if you go back and read, relating to the last speech that he gave about the military-industrial complex, go back and read what he wrote. We were in dire trouble even then. That was pre-JFK. And he said we were a peace-loving nation, whereas they were total opposite. And that's what's happened. The military-industrial, scientific, whatever you want to call them, complex. They brewed in the background, like JFK said. They infiltrated, and they really did infiltrate heavily. They got into steel, oil, when they got into Wall Street in D.C., it was over. And Kennedy was probably surrounded by them and didn't realize it.
Like you told me in the last call, the bankers were involved in some of the thinking up of the killing of JFK.
Yeah, in the end, it's all a rich man's trick. It's all about money. I don't care which way you look at it. Even I went up against these people for almost 8 years, head on by myself. I was
so people know Huggy Bear's husband got in an accident at a very big company, and the lawyers went after her when she was trying to get a settlement and get justice.
Yeah, and they were right out of Washington, D.C., Virginia area, and I witnessed my own lawyer at the table, their big conference table. They handed him the pen, and he said, when you sign this, they said I would be destroyed, and he'd never have to look behind his back. And that's exactly what happened, because he remained with his own partners. Fired him immediately. I was somewhat there when that happened. They were blown away by what happened. They were in shock for me and against him. and he got caught. I think he stole over $100,000 out of their kitty, and so that he was fired immediately. And the very law firm I went up against took him under their wings. They only have like 170 attorneys and own skyscrapers everywhere. And,
my God. Well, let me interrupt you for a minute. Thank you for watching this video. If you're on BitChute or YouTube or archive.org, I appreciate you watching the video. I'll be back next week. My name is DJ Chris, and this is TargetedWest.com, and thank you for listening.